Our recipients this year were the Parent-Child Resource Center, which is a division of BH Care that really helps with mental health issues with children and families, do a lot of work in the Valley area of the state. Journey Home, which is a homeless organization, fights homelessness, that does a lot of work, particularly in the Hartford region. And then the Connecticut Center for Addiction Recovery, which really helps fight alcohol and drug addiction and offers services all over the state. So I think that in one way or another, these charities that we selected are nonprofits. I know last year the groups we had preferred nonprofits. I don't know if these guys have a preference one way or another, but they really do amazing work in our communities. And this year's event, after all the expenses and everything were paid, netted about $34,000. It'll be divided amongst these three groups that we're here to present today.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I just, because someone hands me 11,000, I think I should say something. My name is Michael Askew. I'm Director of Recovery Advocacy for CCAR, Connecticut Community for Addiction Recovery. Been with the organization about 20 years. We've been in existence for 22. And I saw a lot of growth in what we do and the impact we make with communities around the state in supporting families, youth, and people that have had a substance use disorder from homelessness or whatever issues. But as a person in recovery myself since May 28, 1989, I just celebrated 30 years. And I can tell you firsthand my lived experience and how difficult it was to get that first day. So I've been so awarded the opportunity to be part of an organization that promotes recovery through advocacy, education, and being of service. And I just want to thank the Connecticut Conference of Municipalities, not only for being there to support us and thinking of us as so much to be here, but you know, I remember prior to May 28, 1989, how difficult it was. And I remember waking up in a cold, dark, isolated jail cell to the smell of stale body odor, wondering, how did I get here again? That was my 6th prison term. And I had to do 5 years to determine my fate when I got released. And it was that weekend, Memorial Day weekend, I'm a veteran, and I'm sitting there wondering, what can I do to stop this madness, this vicious cycle? And so I see all the people that I have worked with over the years as a manager of the Recovery Community Center in Bridgeport and CCAR. And so I told my boss some 20 years ago, thanks for the paycheck, but I would do this for anything. Because there was somebody that helped me find my way out of that vicious cycle. And so I'm so honored to stand before you and tell you that I have the best job I could ever have. Because now I live in a home that I'm purchasing, and I'm not sleeping behind the local shelter anymore. And that gratitude speaks when I care and share the way I help people today. I call my wife 9 o'clock, honey, I'm sorry, I gotta work with somebody and get them in treatment. She understands. But I think the most valuable thing that I can share with you guys is how valuable this life of mine is, because somebody helped me when I didn't know I could get help. And it was in the prison system. When I was released in 1993, I stayed true to what I believed. And I believed that if somebody could help me, I could help somebody. That's what I'm honored today. And I'm so grateful to be here to stand before you and share with you. I never had it so good, because I had it so bad for a long time. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for having us here this morning. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Journey Home, or even if you are, We are a regional organization. We're based in Hartford, but we work all over the greater Hartford and greater New Britain region. And the core of our work is to end homelessness. And that sounds like a big job, and it is. There's only 10 of us. We have a very small budget. We do everything. Each one of us in the office has multiple tasks. But really the core of what we do is we support all of the housing programs and all of the shelter programs in the region. So we do that through training, technical support, data collection. We do not have direct service programs at Journey Home, but what we do is we support the people who are out on the field. And because of our work, we have found homes for over 700 chronically homeless individuals and families in the last 3 years, which I think is a huge success. So chronic homelessness is somebody who has been homeless a year or longer and has a disability. So these are the hardest to serve in our community, and for years and years and years they were overlooked because they're so hard to serve. And what we did is we refocused our efforts on this particular population. Our retention rate at this point is around 97%. So when we get them into housing, we keep them in housing. We have pulled together so many different agencies, so many different organizations to work together, so everybody is sitting at the table. We've broken down the silos that existed for years within this certain sector. Everybody is communicating, we're identifying the gaps in the system, and when the gaps are identified, we are the first organization to say, okay, we'll figure out a way to fill those gaps. So I'll give you an example. A couple of years ago, the greater Hartford region, everyone who was working with the homeless population said, we can't find affordable housing units, and when we do, we can't find landlords who will rent to this particular population. Help us. So a year ago, we received funding and we were able to hire a full-time person whose only job is to build relationships with area landlords to make available housing units possible for people who are struggling with homelessness. So we've done that. We work with the City of Hartford on the Housing Choice Voucher Program. We help manage their Housing Choice Voucher Program, the preference program for the chronically homeless and families. We have a wonderful furniture donation program where we collect donated furniture and household goods from all over the region, and we store it in our warehouse in West Hartford, and we were just gifted with a brand new truck, which is amazing. And we then, with our team of 200 or so volunteers, we deliver the furniture to clients who have moved from homelessness to housing. So we furnish the homes. And it's our belief that, you can give somebody a key to an apartment, but to really make it home, to make it a long-term solution, you have to be able to give them the resources they need to get started. So we do all sorts of things. We welcome anyone who would like to come visit our offices to come down to 255 Main Street to meet with me. And we'd love to talk. We'd love to get you more involved as municipalities, and we're just so grateful. We're so very grateful. Thank you.
My name is Michael Lynn. I'm with the Parent-Child Resource Center, and I want to thank the Connecticut Conference for Municipalities for including us in this year's Triple Crown event. I've been with the Parent-Child Resource Center for 21 years, so I was pretty young when I started. And interestingly, I had a newborn when I started, and that was an advantage on my job, and it was an advantage as a parent to see how important it is to provide safe homes, nurturing homes for our children. We serve children, actually we have a program that starts before birth with high-risk moms to make sure that they're in a position to be able to provide nurturing, safe homes for their children. We provide services up to the age of 18, and now for the last 3 years we've been affiliated with BH Care, which provides adult behavioral health services. So combined, we provide full-life behavioral health services from birth to death. substance abuse, domestic violence services, and it's unfortunate that we see younger and younger kids with more and more serious illnesses. And I won't bore you with all the details about why kids are affected more and more by trauma and why they exhibit mental health issues at a much younger age and a much more serious age. But we see it every day. So I want to tell you, this past weekend we had our major fundraising event, and Joe had to go out of state because otherwise he was going to have to ride in our 50-mile cycling event.
It's like driving that far.
And one of the things we added this year was a memorial walk for a young man from Southbury, whose family currently lives in Oxford, but he grew up in Southbury, went to high school in Southbury. At the age of 22, took his own life. And it was a very moving testimonial to him on Sunday. His dad got up and spoke. His dad's a police officer. His mom was there, his brother and sister. And there were about 400 people that walked around Quarry Walk, which is an amazing place in Oxford. Many of them were the same students from Hopwood High School that had walked just 1 year ago after he had taken his own life. In fact, it was bittersweet. I think the family really appreciated having the support of the folks from the community, many of whom they hadn't seen since last year. It was 1 year ago to the day when we had our walk that he had been buried. It was June 9th, 2018. And it was very, very moving to have the family come out and have all the people in the community come out to support the family. It just goes to show you that we need to provide more and more mental health services at a younger and younger age. We need to provide prevention services, particularly in school systems. We need to educate everybody, peers, kids in school who know that their peers are struggling with mental health issues, need to learn how to reach out to them and check in on them. As parents, we need to learn how to check in on our kids and make sure that they feel comfortable not talking to us, talking to somebody else about what's going on in their lives. And as citizens, our neighbors, anybody, you need to be able to reach out to somebody and say, are you okay? Do I need to worry about you? The BH Care has a very active suicide, we call it zero suicide, which means we should get to the point where nobody should commit suicide. Nobody should ever feel that desperate about what's going on in their lives to feel that they have to take their own life. So I want to thank CCM again for all that you do and for supporting an organization like ours for what we do. Thank you.
Okay, and having time to recognize all of them for the great work that they do, and the treasurer here, we are